Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I am so happy to be here with you on Fun Fold Friday. One of my favorite things to do are make fun fold cards. Those and treat boxes are like my favorite things. I mean, I do like making cards, don't get me wrong, but I just get so excited when I make a fun fold because it's just like such an immediate wow that I love the gratification that it gives me. So I'm all about the fun folds. So let me show you today's card. We're using the Grassy Grove stamp set and the Grove dies, and we are using it to make this amazing Christmas card. How cool is this Merry Christmas card? Look at all that sparkle. Look at that cool paper behind it. It even has some gold sparkles in it. You have this awesome deer. I love it. So it's going to open like this. And then it's going to open like this. And look at how beautiful that is. A fantastic Christmas card, if I must say so. I know, I'm so silly. So let's show you how to go ahead and make this. Now, the words are from Christmas to Remember. And this special die like this die down here, and this beautiful die right here, from the Eden dies. It's a gorgeous die set. There's a beautiful stamp set that goes with this as well. I love the font on this Christmas word set, Christmas to Remember. So that's the one I chose to use for the Merry Christmas. And then also for the inside sentiment that says love and joy may come to you and may it last the whole year through. I think that's so pretty. Both of those are from Christmas to Remember. So don't forget about those. We also have Grassy Grove and the Grove dies, and I've used this die here to do our main die cut piece. Okay, on our card. See how beautiful that die is? So that's what it cuts out. So pretty. And that's this large die that's in this die set. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to make this cool card. So we're starting with a piece of 4¼ by 11 inches of evening evergreen. I've scored it at 5½, and then I've met the corners, and I've used my bone folder. I burnished it. I took that large die, I laid it on this side, and I ran it through my die cut machine, and I got this beautiful grove of trees with this pretty opening here. We are going to attach our cute little deer in that opening. So let's start with that part. So I'm going to get my silicone mat. You guys know I love it, and I use it all the time. I'll put this card in the corner here. And I'm going to grab my little deer here, and we are going to attach him on to the back like this, so he's part of this scene. So let's get our glue out. And we're gonna put him in that spot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add to the front of his little feet just a tiny bit of glue, right where his little hooves would be. If I can get my glue flowing, there we go. Okay, so that's where we're gonna put our adhesive. This adhesive is very strong. So even though we're just using a tiny bit, trust me, it is gonna stick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna put my little deer here, and I'm gonna bring my scene over the top until I have my deer approximately where I want it to be. And then I'm gonna go ahead and press the little feet in place, just like that. So now it looks like the deer is part of the whole unit. Now we're going to take our designer series paper, which happens to be 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and I have put it on my scoring tool. Now let me show you what the scoring tool looks like. It's our Simply scoreboard, okay? And I've placed it here, and I've ran my stylus at the 5-inch mark all the way down, okay? This is 5 1/4, so when I bend that back and use my bone folder, it is going to give me a little score mark that I'm going to use to tuck on the inside. So let's go ahead and burnish, okay? On the inside of our card, we have a piece of white, okay? And it is our liner on the inside. And that piece is 5 1/4 by 4, okay? And when we put that on the inside here, it's going to make a mat with a border all the way around our evening evergreen piece. I want this piece to be a little shorter, so I cut it the same size and I scored it at 5. I'm going to tuck that 1/4 inch underneath. That will give me a gap here. I want that gap because I want to be able to lift this up, and if it's flush, it's going to be hard to lift up. With that gap it's going to give me, and that is going to cover the gap, so it's really not going to be a problem. But before I glue this to this piece, I want to go ahead and stamp that front. So we're going to stamp the love and joy sentiment and these green trees. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to grab my evening evergreen. I'm going to start with the trees. I'm going to ink those up. I'm going to bring it down here where I can see a little better. I'm going to stamp those right here in the corner. Such beautiful trees. This stamp set is gorgeous. So there they are. And then we're going to take the love and joy come to you and may it last the whole year through. We're going to ink that up. And I'm going to bring it down again. And I'm going to stamp that centered in this white area, not where the trees are, but in this other section. Okay, so that's the inside of our card. I'm going to close this. I'm going to clean my stamps with my Simply chamois here. So there's that one. My trees. All right, we're doing awesome. So now we're going to bring our silicone mat back in. I'm going to put a little bit of wet adhesive along this bordered edge, the dark part, okay? There it is. And I'm going to attach that to the back. So I'm going to kind of put this here. The reason I'm using the wet glue is there's some wiggle room. I love the wiggle room that this wet glue gives us. I can push it up. I can make sure that it's covering all of the white in the front, and then I can press it down in this back section. And now I'm going to put adhesive all over this back section, and I'm going to put this, I'm going to glue this to the inside of my evening evergreen piece. Okay, so let's move this over. Let's get the adhesive flowing here. So I'm going to run a line, and I'm going to make sure that I have some on this strip as well, down this end, and that we have lots of adhesive for nice coverage. All right, so now remember, we don't want our words to be upside down, so make sure you peek. Make sure that you have them the right direction. And you're going to stick this piece down. And again, I love the wiggle room this wet glue gives me. And I'm going to be able to slide this around, and I'm going to get this piece to be even on all 4 sides, like that. If I have any adhesive, I'm going to use my little adhesive remover, and I'm just going to kind of erase it away. If you guys are one of my customers and you do not have an adhesive remover, let me know. We'll see what we can do for you, okay? I just like to run my fingers and make sure there's nothing sticky on the front of my card. Make sure there's nothing sticky here. I'm gonna kind of go over this little part where the feet went and make sure there's nothing here that's gonna stick to that paper and tear this piece. So that's what we have so far, okay? That is the base of our card, okay? So now all the rest of it is gonna go on this front section. So let's decorate the front. I'm gonna start down here at the bottom. We're gonna put this border, and I've cut this out of our gorgeous gold and rose gold 6x6 metallic specialty paper. You can see how beautiful it is. Even in the rose gold, it is gorgeous. I have lots of scraps in there, and this is quite a good value. So check it out in our annual catalog. I also have this piece that I have die cut out of the Eden dies. I'll show you. This is this border here, and this is this little leaf right here, okay? Die cut that out. And then out of soft succulent, I have cut out this piece as well. So gorgeous dies. We're using 3 pieces from that set, but we're gonna glue this first. And I'm gonna figure out how much of this I want to show, how much I want at the top or at the bottom, what I want to kind of overlap here, how I want this to look. So I'm just kind of messing around here. And I think that right about there is where I'm gonna want it. So I'm gonna actually snip off with my paper snips this side right here. All right. And this one I'm gonna let overhang because I'll be able to slide it into place. So we're gonna put some wet adhesive on this section right here. So I'm gonna run a line right above that stitched mark because I definitely want this bottom to stay secure, but I also want these leaves to be secured as well. So we're just going to do this bottom section. Remember, some of them stick up and off right here, so we don't have to go all the way to the top, but we just want to make sure that all of these pieces here have some wet glue on them so that they will bind and look really good on our card. I'm going to grab my tweezers so I don't get adhesive on myself. You can see that little extra bit of glue here. And I'm going to lay this end. Remember, I trimmed it off where I wanted it, so I'm going to kind of lay that down. And I'm leaving a little edge along the bottom. I want that evening evergreen to show. And I'm going to slide this into place little by little, pressing it into place with my fingers. You see the up and down motion I'm using to press it. That way, if there's any glue that oozes out, it's coming onto my fingers and I'm kind of lifting it off of the cardstock, okay? This adhesive comes off with soap and water, so it's really easy to remove. If you rub your fingers together, see how you get like these little pieces that form. Same with the silicone mat, you can just rub it off. And we're gonna trim this other end off now that we have it secure. So there is that piece. Let's put that one in the trash. All right. We're doing quite a good job so far, I think. I'm very pleased. All right. So now we're going to do this section right here. Okay. So this piece is going to be on that side. It's going to kind of be lifted up off of our card. But I want to attach our little gold piece, and I want it to fall kind of right here like so. So I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm going to take one of my dimensionals and I'm going to use that to hold it in place. I'm also going to pull off a few more, and I'm going to put this across my whole piece here and make sure that we have plenty. You don't have to use as many as me if you don't want, but I always use a lot. I like my pieces to be nice and supported. So now we're just going to sit this here and wait for its turn to put it on. So now we need to do a little heat embossing. So we're going to heat emboss this piece of Evening Evergreen with the words Merry Christmas. So in order to heat emboss it, we are going to take our embossing buddy and we're going to rub it all over this paper. And it's a powder. You can see how it's getting on there. I'm just going to kind of brush it, pat it to let the powder out, and then I'm going to brush it, especially wherever my fingers want to touch, okay? Because I don't want the oils from my hands to impede with this embossing process. So once I've done that, I'm going to put it back away. I have a little plastic bag that I put it in, and then I put that in a little Ziploc. All right. On this piece, we're going to use our Versamark ink, and it's a clear watermark ink. I'm going to ink up that word Merry Christmas. I'm actually going to bring the ink pad to it so I can see that I got plenty of Versamark ink on there. All right. And we're going to press that onto this piece. Just like that. You can see this is just a scrap, no particular size. The DSP and the Evening Evergreen and the Basic White were the measured pieces. This is just a scrap of Evening Evergreen that I have. You see how the watermark left a nice dark image? We're going to clean that, but not yet. I'm going to go ahead and take my gold embossing powder. Now, I have dumped my little jars of powder into this container. You can see that it's the Stampin' Up brand of the gold embossing powder. And I like to have it in these containers because I can rub my cardstock right in here, you'll see. And it's much easier than pouring powder back into a little jar. So I'm going to get this side. I'm going to tap off the excess just by tapping my cardstock down. Then I'm going to hold on the other side. See, I still have a little bit left. And I'm going to grab. And I'm also going to tap with my finger to make sure all the excess is off. Okay, so there is the powder onto my piece of cardstock. I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to clean this stamp now. Clean it the same way you clean all your dye-based inks. So you're just going to rub it onto your Simply Chamois, or you can lift the chamois and rub it onto your stamp. Either way works. You can see that it does not deposit ink onto my hands. Oh, but I did run my pad right over the top of my embossing, so hopefully this will work. If not, I'll have to start over, but you guys try not to make the same mistakes that I make. Oh no, it worked out fine. It picked up a little more. I'm just gonna make sure that there's no excess. All right. So now we're going to heat that up. And when we heat it, it's going to melt that powder. And it's a really cool process, actually. So let me grab my heat gun. I'm going to show you how it works. And I'm going to take this piece of cardstock and I'm going to hold on to it with my tweezers here. All right. I'm going to try and bring it up to the camera so you guys can see. And we are going to turn on the heat gun. It makes a little bit of noise. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm going to put it right over the top. And as it melts, it's going to turn shiny. There it goes. that's upside down, but there are our Merry Christmas words. Isn't that beautiful? So just a little bit of glam for Christmas. You guys gotta love some heat embossing, because let me tell you, it is a stunner. So now I'm gonna go ahead and fussy cut around that with my paper snips. So we're just gonna go around this piece, and I'm just gonna leave that evening evergreen, a little border all around that gold, but I'm gonna come up when the letter dips up, come down when the letter dips down, and I'm gonna keep the Merry and the Christmas as one long piece. So as you can see, I'm just kind of wiggling up and down around these letters, kind of coming up where the letters, like I said, dip up, and then I'm just wiggling my blade. I'm not really moving too much. I'm sliding the paper around here, and we're gonna do the other side, and then we'll be done. So I'm just kind of holding on to my paper, and you can see I'm moving my paper and leaving my blade in place. We're almost to the top of this T. We're gonna go around it and come down the other side. I'm gonna hold on here. When I run out of blade, I do slide my blade down. We're gonna come up and around this little dot on the eye for Christmas. Back down. Around that R. Come down. Come around this pretty H. And then we're almost done with the word Christmas. Then we just have the rest of Merry. You can see I'm going to come down here where this Y is. I want to come close to where that little gold line is. And then I'm going to come back up. We're almost finished. Dip down by the R. Come up. Around. Dip down slightly for the second R. And do the E and the little M, and come around, and just like that, I have fussy cut around the word Merry Christmas. I am going to trim just a little bit more right here. Now that I have it loose, I can see that I didn't come close enough where I wanted to right here, but that's good now. So this is just a scrap, so I'm just going to trim this section off, and then I can use this for another day. All right, so this is going to get glued directly down onto this piece. So I'm going to grab my silicone mat again, bring my little pretty label out. I'm going to put my words upside down, and I am going to go ahead like so. Okay, there's my adhesive. I'm gonna grab with my tweezers, and I'm gonna try and center the word Merry Christmas on this piece. Make sure we have a nice little border all the way around. That's beautiful. So I'm just gonna press it lightly into place. Doesn't that look just gorgeous? I love it. So now we're going to pull the backs. Remember, we put those dimensionals. So we're going to use our Take Your Pick tool. We're going to pull the backs off of these dimensionals. One more. All right. And we're going to attach this onto our card. See how bare it looks until you put this piece on the front? So we're going to just figure out where we want it. Make sure it's straight. Love it. Maybe a little farther over. That looks fantastic. Just like that. Now we're going to add some little gold pearls They come in lots of colors in this package. You can see how beautiful they are. I'm going to pull this plastic off so I can show you all of the colors. We have red and green and silver and gold. Very pretty. I'm going to use my take your pick tool, and I'm going to use the putty end here. So I'm going to pull this putty. I like to kind of get it to flow a little. Give me a little more up there. And I like to press it down up against this point so it'll really grab. And we're going to pull off a couple of these pearls. I'm going to put one down in this corner over here near this gold piece. I'm going to pull another one, and I want it over here. Maybe right there. That looks good. And then let's put one over here near this really pretty piece here. Maybe right there. That looks good. I love it. So there is our Merry Christmas card with this beautiful Grassy Grove set. The designer series paper that I used, I'll show you that one. It's a beautiful 6x6 paper pack that has quite a lot of variety. Let's see. Let me pull that out for you guys to see. It is called Lights Aglow, and that is the gorgeous paper that I used. I'll show you some of the other colors that are in here, but it is a gorgeous paper pack. It's double-sided. You can see all the beautiful papers and prints that are in here. So I love this pack. It's in the beautiful colors of Christmas, some traditional and some non-traditional, but gorgeous. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this card. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up for my video. If you have any comments, please put them in the comments below. I have put in the description all the products that I used, which will help you find them in my online store. I appreciate the support of my small business by purchasing from me, and I appreciate you guys being here. I will see you next week on Sunday, so look for that. I have plenty of videos to keep you busy over the weekend, so check those out as well. And this is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping, guys!